you have a sub pump?
I do have a sump pump, but I don't need it. It doesn't flood in the basement now for whatever reason. I don't know. There's a disconnected sump pump. Are you just trying to lead into the sump pump story of the glory days of the Foxhole? Is that what you're doing? Is this a well-crafted segue on your part?
No. That's how it comes about, man. This is how organic conversation starts. This is where it comes about. Alan, have you heard of the sub pump in the Fox household?
I don't think so.
So, it's a. So the house was born. The house was built, finished construction in 1912. Okay, and I don't know.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean that sounds like a made-up story, especially coming out of your face. So I do know that you have an old house, but yeah, but the house was bought in 1912. I tell you, by a man named Oscar Romario. That's correct. He made the bricks out of hand and clay. Like.
It's a Tijuana story. So I'm not necessarily sure when I always mess it up. It's sub pump, right?
No, it's sump.
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 Some. Okay.
Pump. Yeah.
Maybe that's when
pump something out of the house.
It sat in the corner of our of the dingy ass Foxhole basement where we would party, and yeah, after a handful of beers and not wanting to climb a flight of steps, it's not just a flight of steps, but also having to be quiet because our parents were asleep. We usually opted to pee in the sub pump, and I don't know, you get 5 or 6 people down there, and 5 or 6 turns into 7 or 8, and then everyone's drinking about 8 to 10 beers. It gets to be a lot of piss in a collective area, and especially going through a drought in the summer when it's not flushing out, when it's not doing its job, it can get quite stinky.
Well, let me tell the real story there, Alan, because there seems to be a little bit of West Fox revisionist history going on here.
Yeah.
See, what am I, 4 years older than you, Wes?
Give or take.
So,
yeah. Ballpark.
Me and Wes's brother, Dewey, we used to go down in the basement, and it was just he and I, and occasionally maybe 3 other people, maximum of 5 people. Mm-hmm. And then over time, as always happens with a older brother, younger brother situation, you introduce the younger brother to the scenario, and then the younger brother decides he's going to top older brother's scenario. Hey, Dewey can have 5 people down here. I can have 10. Hey, Wes is having 10 people over. You guys invite 1 or 2 other people down there. Next thing you know, there's a 25 to 30 man party in the basement, in the Foxhole, like every Friday, Saturday for 2 summers. And, Wes, of course, is like, bro, we don't got to go upstairs. We can just piss in the sump pump. So it goes from like really, really drunk, 2, 3 in the morning, 1 person taking a leak in the sump pump, to now this is the bathroom. This is where you pee now. There is no upstairs. You come in and out of the back basement door and you pee in the hole in the ground until it smells like ripe asparagus and dead animal. That's how that story goes.
Well, it started off as 1 pass per night. And then, that just progressively builds and builds. And then it all came to a focal point. I believe it was the summer of 2002, and there was a historic drought in the Maryland/Mid-Atlantic region. And yeah, my father apprehended me one morning. As I was on my way out the door to work, catching a 6 a.m. shift at the golf course, which is where the old farts used to throw around a lot of money, which is the only reason I would wake up at that time, that early in my life. And yeah, I got a quick Cliff Notes version as to why, how a sub pump works when there's no water coming in it. And yeah, just stagnant pee creating this very ammonia-esque smell as everyone walked in. And it got bad one night. I remember a group of females who I invited over walked through the basement door, and a couple of them kind of gave a dry heave and like, oh, what was that? God, this place is gross. I was like, God, is it that bad? Is it really smell out over there? Yeah, it sure does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not good.
No.
But that's funny. That's funny as shit.